guys, if you're doing shoulder presses and never thought about your shoulder mobility, this video is for you. Alright guys, so when I spoke about shoulder mobility, it's important to understand that the shoulder joint is able to do a lot in terms of the movement. I did a video a few days ago about the movements of the shoulder, and I'm going to leave that up here so you can check that out. Some of the times we are not understanding that when we're doing shoulder presses and our mobility or our posture is off, we can now have a compromised or even injured shoulder further when we're doing this movement. Simple movement like getting this shoulder overhead is something that if you do not understand, you're doing it wrong. You'll be doing it wrong and you don't know. One of the compensations you want to look for when you're doing your overhead shoulder flexion is a bent elbow. You'll find persons reaching this point and you'll find the elbows will start to bend because the bent elbow is signaling that the shoulder cannot go anymore. So if I bend my elbows, I'm going to be able to get my shoulder over my head. That's a compensation number one. The other one that will be noticeable when doing any sort of overhead movement is going to be an overarching of the back. So for instance, I want to do more overhead shoulder flexion, any sort of pressing above my head. I'm going to come here, and if I can't, I'm going to extend this way and push my chest up to get the movement. You not even realize you're doing that, but you're going to do that, especially if you have a really heavy load. You're going to be pushing this way, thinking that you're getting that load up. But what you're doing is that overextension of the lower back, and probably when you reach home, you're wondering why you're getting pain there. So let's look at how we can get that shoulder to get overhead without having those compensations. All right, let's go. So I have my lacrosse ball here. The lacrosse ball is really small and neat, and what you want to do with this is you want to use this to put into the back muscle, those traps and rhomboids, because let me tell you something, in shoulder, it doesn't really move on its own. It's attached to the humerus, it's attached to the biceps, it's attached to the pectoralis major on the front here. So if you have, let's for instance, say you have some rounded shoulders, which everybody would have because of the, the lifestyle we have, tech neck, right? We are going to be able to see it rounding like that, and you're gonna have a lot of tight muscles in the back here. So this little baby here, place it right on side of the scapula or anywhere just in about next to the spine. And what I'm gonna do, I'm going to use the lacrosse ball as a form of self-manufactured release, but I like to call it smashing those muscles, especially the ones that are tight in the back there. So I'm going to use it, and I'm going to take some deep breaths. Now, if it's the first time you're doing this, you might feel like, oh my gosh, I'm dying with the pain in the back there. Don't worry about that. Taking deep breaths allow the nervous system to relax itself while it's feeling this pushing up against the tissues. So here's what it looks like. As I do that, and you get accustomed to it, you can now bridge up to increase the intensity of the lacrosse ball on those muscles in the back there. You can move up a little bit, move around a little bit, all around, get up a little higher if you want. Or you could actually try taking the arms overhead to increase and help to move the shoulder overhead as it's supposed to. Alright, so let's go now with some band work after we get those muscles broken down. Let's go. On the squat rack here, I added my super band, and you can put it about shoulder weight. Shoulder height is good, a little above shoulder height. This one is nice and steady. I'm going to place my hand on top, turn, and what I'm trying to do here, I'm going to try to distract and pull or unglue this pec muscle that is attached to the shoulder here, because we spoke about, this forward posture that we may have on internally rotating the shoulders. I want to work on external rotation and drawing the shoulders down, and I'm doing this pec muscle here. So from here, I'm going to turn the hand this way because this is going to be externally rotated, and I'm going to look away and pull myself away from the squat back. So I'm actually getting a nice length here, and this is what you can do to start off improving your shoulder mobility for overhead flexion. Let's continue. That is the next one, the next muscle that we want to work on and try to get some length on it, because when we have it like this internal rotation, you're going to get a lot of tightness here. Same thing with the Superman, you're going to put it a little higher this time, get your hand in, going to turn this way, going to step back, and what I want to do is push the hips back to allow that lengthening of that lat there. And you can go with 2 feet, or I like 2 feet because with the 2 feet together, pushing the head down, taking it to the point where the ears is touching the bicep. From there, I can push, rotate the hips so I can get a better stretch. Once I go this way, rotating the hips, you can feel that there, pulling down and creating more movement, or a lighter or more relaxed lat muscle. I'm going to show you one more, as I was saying before. Going to work on the, when we were using the lacrosse ball before, in the back, those rhomboids and trap muscles there. We're working on the posterior aspect of the shoulder where the scapula is going to be. I'm going to place my hand, and notice the hand is going to go across the body, get back into the same position where I have a nice hold here. And when I'm going to start a step away, from here I'm going to turn the shoulder so it's externally rotated, and also I want to retract the shoulder blades back. From here I'm going to keep this hand right here and allow myself to try turning onto that side. Now I can feel the stretch happening in the posterior aspect of the shoulder where the scapula is. I can even get a little head turn as well. And I'm telling you, this is worth the money. You will be doing these mobilization techniques with one of my favorite pieces of equipment, these super bands, man. I love it. If you don't have it, get it. And I'm telling you, test and retest, because that is one way you will know if these mobilization techniques are going to work. And I'm telling you, they will. Try it, let me know how it goes. And guys, thanks for watching. I hope this works for you. I'll see y'all later. Bye.